Welcome to your hometown pub. Open 7 days a week, the pub in LJ is your happy hour hangout. They offer a variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, and their friendly staff is here to ensure a wonderful time. Join them for daily happy hour specials Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday with $1 wings all day long. Located at 941 Maddox Drive in East LJ. Open Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. The pub in LJ, where every visit feels like home. You snoozed twice this morning, spilled your coffee once, and you've already blamed last night's referee for your morning mood.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's time to embrace the chaos and step into the madness.
Bro, you about to see a side of me you didn't even know existed.
Featuring guests who are over-caffeinated and less reasonable than the average person.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Fans, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Welcome to the show.
So buckle up. It's time for hot takes and hot mics. This is the Morning Rant, where the only thing more unpredictable is Dave before his third cup of coffee.
I just felt like running.
On WPGY, the Sports Pig.
What's up, North Georgia? Welcome into the Rally Towel Tuesday edition. Almost a terrible towel, because I get in that habit of doing that. But again, it's a Rally Towel Tuesday right here, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group on the Morning Rant, Monday through Friday, over the dial and online at sportspigradio.com. Also on the app as well. Appreciate you guys being in with us right here. I'm in here with my man Billy D, chopping it up.
Let's go
on another Tuesday. And we got some funny features and segments. Man, we've already been cracking each other up here right before we came on the air, talking about some other stuff that we will bring to the air later in the show, so you're not going to want to miss it. Hey, a lot of things, as we always say, going on in the world of sports. You and I got to get caught up here. Yesterday, I jumped on with Big John Davis, and we were talking about everything from, the NBA playoffs, NHL, the Preakness coming up this weekend for horse racing, PGA Championship, the LIV guys trying to make peace with the PGA guys. I mean, all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world of sports, and it's heating up. It's summertime, and man, just a lot. I mean, you got tennis cranking up soon, too. There's a lot happening.
There's a lot of stuff going on here. I mean, summer, now I would say this, and you sent me a picture of your grass the other day, and we're going to have a little segment later in the show called Keeping It Real with Billy D, but I think the real is REEL, as in the real mower.
Yes.
But you sent me a picture of your lawn, and man, it looked like Amen Corner at Augusta. I mean, man, it honestly, when you sent the picture, it looked like an AI picture.
Well, here's the thing. If you can't do it yourself, you pay somebody.
Yeah.
So I pay somebody to do some nice things, and it does look good. Thank you.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. My lawn's getting there. For the first time, probably, oh gosh, since I've lived in my current house, and I've been there 7-8 years, I guess now, I finally have it to a point where I don't have a bunch of weeds that I have to pull up.
Let's not mistake this, Dave. You have a resort in your backyard. Come on.
Well,
you have a resort.
I wouldn't go
He's
that far.
got a water feature. You got a little putting area. You got the pool. You got the whole deal.
I mean, let's not get carried away here on the Rally Towel Tuesday. But I will say this. Yeah, we've put a lot of work into it. But I've got a guy, and his name's John, by the way, and I would encourage anybody, especially if you're around if you're around Pickens County or Gilmer County area or whatever, John Warren, man. I mean, he's I'll give him a shout out. I mean, he's done just phenomenal work and has most all the houses now in our neighborhood. I mean, he started with a few, and then everybody was like, man, what did you do to your yard? And then it's just kind of spread from there. And so
looks good. Yeah,
I mean, he treats a lot of yards in the neighborhood. But yeah, it's the first time I've really ever had. I've always tried to do it myself. That was my first mistake because I'm not a horticulturalist or whatever, agriculture, so it's just one of those things. But my wife, thankfully, has a green thumb. So when it comes to the flowers and the plants and things like that, she's spot on. I mean, she does great with the roses, good with the azaleas, all the different flowers that I don't even know the names of. Her new thing, though, she's gotten into birds. She has this app on her phone because, when you have a water feature, when you have a pool, and you have all this stuff out there, naturally you're going to draw all the critters.
Resort. Yep.
And so now she's got this app on her phone. She's become obsessed with birds. And so now I call her, she's an amateur ornithologist. ornithologist, right? I mean, that's pretty much
a big word, Dave.
where we're at this point. I don't use a lot of big words because A, I don't know a lot of big words, and B, I don't use them correctly when I use them.
I've never heard that word.
But the only reason I know that, and I promise we're going to talk about sports at some point over the next 60 minutes, but the only reason I know that is because when I was in middle school, and this is before I moved out to Cherokee County. Now, I was at school over in North Fulton. I know you grew up in Atlanta when you first moved to Atlanta before you moved out into what was then the sticks. But I had a bird watching class. We had all these like electives. You could, like chess, but there was some like random classes, and one of the classes was bird watching, and it was ornithology. And that's the only reason I know that word is because it's the study of birds. It's like bird watching is the ornithology is the fancy term for that. So she has now become an amateur ornithologist.
So you just sit there and watch birds.
You just sit there and watch and identify. She has this app on her phone. You turn it on, and it listens for all the different birds, and it tells you what. Man, we got thrashers, we got blue jay, we got all the sports team mascots, basically. She's big into crows right now. So, yeah, I mean, there's all kind of birds back there. Man, I'm telling you.
I don't even know what to say.
You wouldn't even know. I mean, like, it's just become this thing now around our household. So, yeah.
Tweet.
Tweet. Caw.
You need a hawk, man.
We hadn't had any.
You need a hawk.
Now, we do have hawks. They fly around. They don't ever land in the yard, but they do fly around. And we've got, it does scare me a little bit because we do have two smaller dogs. And so I'm always worried one of those big hawks is going to come swooping through there. We've had turkey buzzards and other stuff. So, yeah, you never know, man. You got to be careful.
Now I'm scared to come over.
Yeah, I was going to say, I totally changed your perception of that backyard oasis now. But no, nonetheless, but you're right, though. We are transitioning rapidly towards summer. Green grass, the smell of fresh cut grass in the air as we climb ever closer to football season. And we'll talk about some news and notes later in the program. Again, we kind of treat this show as a lead-up, as you guys know, to Chuck Oliver, who is the king of college football, man. Southern Sports Today airs at 11 o'clock right here, Monday through Friday, right after our show. So we do like to kind of feed into what Chuck's talking about with NIL recruiting and all that mess. But he does a great job with that, so we kind of let him dive more, deeper into some of that stuff. But in the meantime, there's a lot of things going on, and I want to keep it local for just a moment. I spent some time this morning over on our sister station next door, 101.1 The Pulse, and I was hanging with our morning guys, and we were talking about the high school baseball playoffs. Final Four this week for several of our area high schools. Pickens and Calhoun are playing on Thursday with a chance to go to the state championship, so something's got to give there. Two prominent schools in our listening area. We also have Cartersville and Kell playing each other. Pope is in it, North Paulding's in it, Etowah is in it, and North Cobb Christian. We interviewed Coach Jimmy Keene right here on the program. We may try to get him on tomorrow or Thursday as those guys get set to take on Wesleyan in the private school bracket. But nonetheless, man, a lot of high schools making a lot of noise, and congratulations to all of our teams right now making that deep playoff run.
That's exciting. I think several of those are there like year in and year out too, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, really good programs.
Etowah's been nationally ranked.
Yes.
As we know. Woodstock's kind of had a down year a little bit, but they're usually there. In fact, I remember a few years ago whenever Etowah and Woodstock played each other for the state championship.
Yes, that was cool.
I mean, two schools separated by less than 2 miles, and yet, they playing down, I believe at Truist, I think it was in Atlanta, where they played that state championship. But yeah, kudos nonetheless to all of our high school baseball teams, again, making noise now at the Final Four level, and hopefully the state championships next week right here on the program. Hey, I do want to talk real quick. NBA, NHL playoffs, of course. I know you've been following basketball. OKC did eliminate the Lakers last night, 4-0. So enough noise there about LeBron, Bronny, and all that stuff. So,
well, I mean, they said had the firepower. I mean, with oh my gosh, what's his name? From the Mavericks.
From the Mavericks.
I'm drawing a blank. He plays in the Lakers, but he's out. Luka.
Yeah, Luka.
With him being out, they just don't have the firepower to compete with these guys. OKC just took care of business. The Knicks, the way they took care of Philadelphia. I don't feel so bad about the Hawks now. Now you can take all that heat off of us, man, because they blew them jokers out.
Yeah,
game after game. They're just so hot right now.
You're right about that, and I think
they have big men, by the way.
Yeah, they do, and it does make me feel a little bit better about the way the thing, played out with the Hawks in that series, because obviously the Knicks hit another gear late in that series, and they carried that momentum right over into sweeping Philly.
Seven straight, just blowing them out. And I'll tell you though, with all that though, they still, the East just cannot hold a candle to the West, in my opinion. I think San Antonio and OKC is really the going to be what I would consider probably the championship. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe the Knicks, I think the Knicks will take care of whoever wins the other series pretty quickly. Yeah, you may be right about that. Spurs, T-Wolves tied at 2 apiece, as are the Pistons and Cavs. Basically, you're a best of 3 from here on out in those 2 series. But T-Wolves are fun, though. They might be able to do something. They're fun. Yeah, they are fun. Yeah. I mean, Anthony Edwards last night getting the dub there. And he credited one of the plays where there was kind of a jump ball situation, and they asked him about taking that ball away, and he credited Roddy White. Yeah. He's like, Roddy White, man, Atlanta Falcons, man, that's what I was thinking in that situation, man. Go up and get the ball. That's awesome. I love Ant-Man. I would do anything to have Ant-Man in Atlanta. We need an Ant-Man in Atlanta. That's something like that. We got a nice draft coming up. Maybe we'll get something like that. Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks, by the way, with the 8th pick in the NBA draft is the lottery order. And 23rd. Is a set. Yeah, so, 2 first-round pick. With the NBA draft, I think it's a little bit different, because it's not like the NFL draft where you've got 7 rounds and you're drafting starters in the first 2 rounds and possibly the 3rd round and all that kind of stuff. I mean, when you look at the NBA draft, once it gets past the first round, everybody quits paying attention, because usually once you get past about the first 20 picks, oftentimes they don't pan out. It's not like you've got a 3rd or 4th round pick that's, might contribute right away. I mean, even your first round picks, don't always play the first year or 2. You speak about the Hawks? Well, wink, wink, nudge, nudge there. Again, Zachary Rigi, perfect example of that. Is he ever going to be a player? I mean, is he ever going to? Is he a guy that's just going to end up being a number 1 overall bust? That's hard to say. Well, I don't think a lot of people know really what he is, which is really sad for your number 1 pick. Yeah, well, I was going to say. I mean, it's kind of... You should know that with a number 1 pick. Yeah, absolutely. You would think it'd be more of a slam dunk, but again, there are no slam dunks, pardon the pun, when it comes to the NBA draft. So again, NHL Playoffs, Avalanche up now 3-1. They get it done. Canadians 2-1 again over the Sabres over in the West. And then, of course, you've got, in the East with Buffalo. Carolina Hurricanes with the sweep. They're already sitting around waiting with the conference semifinals, and then of course the Golden Knights and Anaheim Ducks at 2 apiece as the NHL playoffs roll on. We'll talk a little bit more about the Buffalo Sabres and some NHL talk with Big John tomorrow, which, by the way, Big John will be with us here live in studio, just as Billy D is today here in our Carriage Kia studios for this Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. Hey, the Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open, by the way. Give us a text, 866-888-0744. Let us know what you think about any of the things that we're talking about today here in the first segment. We're kind of laying out the show. Coming up in the next segment, we're going to jump a little bit further in to some Braves talk and a few of the other things going on in the world of sports. We're also going to have our Keeping It Real with Billy D segment, and we will hear from our favorite chiropractor, Dr. Keith Rigi from 100% Chiropractic. He'll be with us later in the show as well. And, of course, coming up, the restaurant inspection scores. We know you love that. We'll talk some trash during the restaurant inspection here today as well. All that and much more coming up right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. Hit us up on the Jasper Coca-Cola text line, 866-888-0744. We are the home of ESPN Radio right here in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
You entrusted your loved one's care to a nursing home, expecting compassion and quality treatment. Instead, they suffered from neglect, abuse, bed sores, falls, or medication errors that could have been prevented. I'm Chris Brown from Geiger Legal Group. Our elderly deserve dignity and proper care, not negligence that causes pain and suffering. When nursing homes fail in their duty of care, we fight to hold them accountable. Your loved one's suffering matters. We'll stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG and let us tell your story today.
98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball. Big opinions of the big games from the big mouths.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the Morning Rant on WPGY, the Sports Pig, North Georgia's home for ESPN Radio.
Sit down.
Chopping it up with my man Billy D on a Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal. Again, our friends at Geiger Legal, #1 personal injury attorney in North Georgia is the Geiger Legal Group. Call them today, 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG, and let them tell your story today. Dave Garner back with you here till 11 o'clock as we talk about a few things going on. Of course, the big news over the weekend, the passing of Bobby Cox, an Atlanta Braves legend, being honored throughout the league over the weekend. That right on the heels of Ted Turner, of course, not only the former owner of the Atlanta Braves and Atlanta Hawks, but also the founder, creator of, cable news, basically, but CNN, headline news, all those different things. So certainly not only a sports figure, but a broadcast icon and legend. And again, a lot of folks, maybe the younger folks, don't necessarily remember Ted Turner quite as much. He kind of fell off the map over the last 10 or 15 years or so, and you didn't hear a whole lot about Ted. But back in the day, when like guys like you and I were growing up, Billy, I mean, Ted Turner was always out there, in the news, making headlines for whatever reason or the other, whether it because of his relationship with Jane Fonda or whatever it was, or some of the quirky promotions or outlandish things that he would say or do. A lot of folks remember Ted Turner, but yeah, definitely two guys tied to the Braves within a week, passing of each other. Man, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just two icons of the city. It's funny listening to a lot of the stories from some of the guys who interacted with these guys through their lifetime and hearing some of those stories. I think that's always kind of cool about it's cool and not cool. I've always said it's great to hear these stories when people pass these great stories, but I'm like, I would really like to celebrate people while they're alive a little bit. Let's hear some of those stories before they actually pass. I think it's good for those people to hear the impact that they've had sometimes, which is kind of cool. Yeah. But anyway, nonetheless, it's great to hear those stories, and they've meant so much to the city, and I think it's right to celebrate them. A lot of and we mentioned this yesterday, a lot of the former Braves players have shared stories online, social media. I mean, it's a different day and age, obviously, with, Twitter and all the different things, which, by the way, you can catch me on Twitter at DaveGarner777. Again, follow us on our social media. But, yeah, a lot of different Braves players sharing different stories over the last couple of days about Bobby, some of them very humorous and funny because he was a character. And I'm sure we'll be doing the same thing with Snitker, one day as well. Brian Snitker, again, spent 50-plus years in the Braves organization as a coach, staying on in a consultant role. And hopefully we'll be saying the same thing about Walt Weiss one day. Maybe our kids will be telling stories about Walt. We know he's a competitor. And speaking of the Atlanta Braves, again, off to a good start this year. You got to be encouraged with what you're seeing. Anytime you can take 2 of 3 from the Doyers, you're doing pretty good. And we had a 6-3 road trip. Now, the Braves were off last night. They started a 3-game set against the other hottest team in baseball, the Chicago Cubs, tonight right?
at Truist. Yeah. So, again, a big series coming up, another big test for this Atlanta Braves club. I tell you, the biggest thing that stuck out to me the other day, and I was really encouraged by it, was Spencer Strider coming back. Now, his first performance back, they had him on a little bit of a limited count. I don't think he made it through 5 innings. They kind of treated it as sort of a bullpen game. They gave him the start. They only let him go, 3-4 innings. But the other night, though, the metrics looked really good out of Strider. Again, his fastball was hovering up close to 98, 99, which is, that's the old Spencer Strider. I mean, that's what we're used to. So as the Golden Boy, Will Cooper, said last week right here on the program, the velocity is coming back. But, again, Strider's not a one-pitch pony. He's throwing a lot of off-speed stuff. He's not relying so much on just the fastball. He's getting guys out with some breaking, off-speed stuff. So, again, the metrics looking good and very encouraging for Spencer Strider as he got the win on Saturday for the Atlanta Braves. And, of course, Bryce Elder comes back the next day, throws another solid gem. The Braves with back-to-back 72 wins over the Dodgers. Old news now as we move on, but still going to talk about it because anytime you can beat the Dodgers, and speaking of going down memory lane with the Atlanta Braves, and of course, losing Bobby Cox and so forth. I remember, and I don't know, I'm sure you do too, the days where the Braves used to be in the NL West, and I think that's why you have the rivalry with the Dodgers the way you do, is because there were so many years where the Dodgers were just always so good, as they still are now. And as a Braves player, you're always looking up to them, right, as a Braves fan. And so those old days of us being in the NL West, and it was the same way with football. The Falcons were in the West with the Niners and Rams. So again, with the realignment, and now Major League Baseball is looking at even more realignment. They're looking at doing another round of geographic realignment. But I remember those old days being a rival with the Dodgers.
Well, that's what also made the Freeman trade so hurtful.
It stung. You're right.
A little bit.
You're right. Good point.
That's the same reason.
Yeah.
But, all I got to tell you from this last series, it was great to see us bunting the ball so well to get past the Dodgers. It was really nice to see how well we're able to lay that thing down.
Hey, we did, man. We laid it down. We laid the butt down.
But, no, what I really liked is what stuck out to me was our defense.
Yeah.
Man, we made some crazy defensive plays to get through those games. I mean, my God. I mean, right. It was a White. Yeah, White out there in the outfield.
Eli White crashing up against the wall.
He's still out.
Yeah. He probably had a concussion for that. Jim Jarvis, the rookie, making his debut, I believe, on Friday night, and had that amazing diving catch at shortstop that ended up being the MLB Play of the Week. By the way, that was named if you haven't seen it, you ought to go on YouTube and look it up. But
the defense was
it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's been an all around good team, start to the season, and now we're now kind of about quarter of the way through. So we're beyond the start of the season now. Now we're in the season.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're all able to do this without Acuna.
Well, over the last few days or so. Come on now. Come on now. Let's not get too carried away here. But no, I get it. No, to your point, to be able to beat the Dodgers without Acuna, you're right, is a very promising sign because let's face it, it's baseball. You're going to have other people step up throughout the course of the season, top to bottom in the lineup. You can't rely on one or two or even three guys. You've got to be able to hit well, and I think that's where the Braves have done so well this year. We want to hear from you. Tell us what you think. 866-888-0744. But again, top to bottom of the lineup. Who would have known that Mauricio Dubon would have brought a bat with him to Atlanta? Even Mateo in the starts, at shortstop, because Dubon's now playing out in left field. Yeah, he's been playing a lot better than Yaz. Yaz is kind of, his time has been, limited, certainly because of what Dubon's been able to do, with the bat and with the glove. And now you've got the versatility of being able to move him into left field and play him more every day. And then that opens up, and you still got Mateo. You got the Jarvis kid that just showed up the other day. You're going to get Ha-Seong Kim back at some point, which was kind of funny the other day, by the way. They're playing the Dodgers. We've got Ha-Seong Kim. They have Ha-Seong Kim. Basically, it's almost like identical names. The two guys actually played together over in Korea as teammates, and now Ha-Seong plays for the Dodgers and Ha-Seong plays for the Braves. So but we will get Ha-Seong back at some point here in the near future with our Atlanta Braves. But yeah, so far so good. A 6-3 road trip. Again, the Braves right now, of course, leading the NL East over the Phillies, who have caught fire. By the way, Don Mattingly, the new manager, has definitely got those guys, playing well. So again, there's a long way to go still in the season, but you got to be encouraged so far with what you've seen out of our Atlanta Braves. Hey, let's talk some PGA for just a minute. I know you're a big golfer, Billy D. I know your last tournament didn't go quite as well as your first two went, but it's like we just said with baseball, it's still a long season, man. There's a lot of golf left in front of you. But speaking of this weekend, PGA Championship, 11 LIV golfers coming over to play in this tournament. Your thoughts, man, as we lead up to it on Thursday up in Pennsylvania.
I love the LIV golfers coming over and playing these tournaments. I can't wait till this whole thing is behind us, which I think it will be sooner rather than later. The money's running out. You got all this stuff happening externally with the world, which we won't need to get into. But that all has effects on everything around it, right?
Right.
And so we got the LIV guys coming over here, and look, I like watching John Rahm. I like watching Shambo, all these guys. Of course, Shambo had to pay a heavy penalty to get back over here, but
$25 million or something.
But I love seeing these guys. Cam Young's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah,
he's doing really well. So it's interesting to see how this plays through. Of course, with Rory being as strong as he's been.
Yeah,
he'll be there, and it's just a great championship to watch.
When you're making $100 million a tournament, you can pay a $25 million fine to get back in.
Well. But Dave, they have taxes, they have caddies, they have the agents to pay, they have all these things. Well, I'm hearing all these athletes on TV go, well, my $100 million really isn't $100 million because I got to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
Let me have that problem.
There's a lot of pressure that comes with $86 million after taxes. I mean, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, which Ferrari to buy?
You and I, speaking of, we're coming on the air here today talking about the tax extension. A lot of people filing the extension. We're over here trying to figure out what we're going to do and everything, and this guy's over here crying about making all that money.
Yeah.
So, again, nonetheless, though, everything boils back to money as we talk about. And I know Big John Davis, we always say that about the NCAA, the conferences, particularly with colleges now and so forth, and the NFL. It all boils down to money. And again, man, the PGA Tour is certainly not exempt from that by any means. But yeah, no, looking forward to it. Again, right on the heels of the Masters now, moving well into the season, the PGA Championship coming up this weekend. It seems like. And now you're into it a lot more than I am, and I'm just kind of a casual watcher. But it seems like everything is a PGA Championship. Like almost every other weekend, seems like there is a PGA Championship. There's something called the PGA something. I don't know, man. It always seems like there's a bunch of PGA Championships throughout the year.
They like to name them pretty close to each other, for sure. These all roll up into the major championship. With the points throughout the year.
Yeah.
But no, there's basically the four majors everybody looks at is like the British Open, the U.S. Open, the
Tour Championship.
Right.
This
is the Tour Championship. Yeah.
Isn't that East Lake?
Yes.
So East Lake is the Tour.
It's part of it, yeah.
East Lake's the Tour Championship.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm telling you, I watch a little bit here and there, but I get kind of confused by all that.
It's the majors everybody really tunes into.
Yeah.
The majors.
Well, there we go. Well, thank you for clarifying that right here on a Rally Towel Tuesday with us right here. Again, big Billy D right here, man. He's got the ball strikers, man, with the next level
NLGC.
golf.
NLGC.
Yeah. When's the next tournament?
It's this Saturday at the Frog.
Just win, baby.
At the Frog.
Where's the Frog?
It's in Villa Rica.
Out west.
Yep.
Okay, go out 20. There we go. Well, good stuff. Maybe you can get back on par this week.
I need to, man. They say confidence is everything, but I don't think so, because I was really confident last tournament and that didn't work out so well. So I'm just going to go real even keel. Yeah. We'll just see what happens.
I'm always confident till the first tee box, and then after that it just goes downhill.
Yeah, right.
But hey, we appreciate you guys listening to us right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Once again, visit us on social media. The Sports Pig on Facebook. The Morning Rant, our program, is on Instagram. You can enjoy clips there. Also, full video episodes daily on YouTube. The Morning Rant also available on our website in podcast form on sportspigradio.com and wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast on both Apple and Android platforms, including Spotify and Podbean. Once again, I'm on Twitter at DaveGarner777, and we'll be right back after a quick break. We'll be joined by Dr. Keith Rigi with our chiropractic moment. We will keep it real with Billy D. We'll have our restaurant inspection scores coming up later in the show as well. Keep it locked right here on this edition of the Morning Rant on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Financial scams are on the rise, and with AI, they're getting more and more sophisticated every day. If someone pressures you to act quickly, ask for secrecy, or request payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, stop. Legitimate financial professionals don't rush you or demand unusual payment methods. Before you send money or share personal information, slow down and verify. Protect your future. When in doubt, ask questions.
If you're suspicious of a scam, call the team at Foundation Wealth today at 706-278-0214.
98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, your official home for flag-to-flag coverage of NASCAR. We bring the heat, you bring the trash talk.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
It's the Morning Rant, live on the Sports Pig app and sportspigradio.com.
Back here on a Rally Towel Tuesday, presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. Once again, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open. 866-888-0744. We want to hear from you again, 866-888-0744. Tell us your favorite Bobby Cox memory, Ted Turner story, you name it, your favorite memory as a Braves fan growing up, right here on the hotline, and we'll talk about it right here on the program. Again, Dave Garner in here with Billy D, chopping it up until 11 o'clock as we are halfway home on this Tuesday edition of the Morning Rant. Hey, I do want to remind folks, Friday, a big week for us right here. Friday will be a big morning as we broadcast live from Bradley's Bar and Grill off of Lower Roswell Road in East Cobb. And again, you're not going to want to miss it. Now, if you're in the area, anywhere around the area, come by and see us. We're going to have a big live presence at Bradley's. Guest, they're going to be doing a brunch and lunch. So again, join us in the morning. We'll be live from 10 to 1 on the air. But during that time, we're going to be doing some raffles, some auction items, some different things. Again, brunch specials, mimosas, lunch, wings, you name it. Bradley's Bar and Grill. Again, our friend John Capone does an excellent job. It is one of the high-end dive bars of East Cobb that's been there. Everybody, seems to love it. I know my man Big John frequents that place all the time there, so I'm looking forward to kind of hanging out down there in that East Cobb area on Friday as we put together a big 3-hour show right here as part of our Friday happy hour edition of the program presented by your friends at Bradley's Bar and Grill. Going to be a lot of fun there. I do want to remind folks that we have a new program that is debuting this week right here on the Sports Pig, on the app and online at sportspigradio.com. It's called the Red Clay Rundown. It's hosted by our friend Steve Newbold and his partner Will Rigdon, Monday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Now, usually for now, it is going to air 30 minutes before our live Braves coverage starts. So again, you can hear the show in the afternoons. We'll talk a little bit more about the show as we kind of get it launched to get it on the air. But for all of you dirt track racing fans out there, and especially if you're a NASCAR fan as well, you're not going to want to miss Steve and Will chopping it up. Again, the latest in local dirt track racing. They're very tied in to a lot of the dirt tracks throughout the state of Georgia, particularly in North Georgia. Again, Steve, though, does some work for NASCAR throughout the week, so very plugged in. So if you love racing and you're here in North Georgia, the birthplace of stock car racing, you're not going to want to miss the Red Clay Rundown right here on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia. Hey, time now to check in with our favorite chiropractor with this week's chiropractic moment. Again, this is Dr. Keith Rigi joining us right now from 100% Chiropractic down in Canton. Dr. Keith, thanks for joining us right here. Again, this is basically a segment where we do like a quick minute with the chiropractor for all you weekend warriors that are starting to get outside as that weather warms up, including my man, Billy D. But Dr. Keith, once again, thanks for being with us right here on the program. One of the things that I noticed, and we touched on this, I think a couple weeks ago, you've got a lot of technology in your office that I was very impressed with. Tell us about some of the current in-office technology and machinery that you have to help folks out.
Well, there is a lot of different modalities that we can do. We certainly have massage therapists. We have red laser, which is, fantastic piece of equipment that reduces inflammation, reduces pain. It actually facilitates the building blocks of new tissue being built to replace the old damaged tissue.
Okay.
We have spinal decompression therapy, which is great for people that have herniated disc, nerve problems, sciatica, those type of issues. That's a 90% success rate of eliminating surgery in the future. So, we have a lot of different ways of attacking, whatever issue a patient might walk through the door with.
I love it. Yeah. And Billy, you've got, again, some experience, as we talked about.
Yeah, I've used the red lasers before for my back. Yeah. And again, like I said before, I didn't really know what this is all about, but I said, all right, put this laser on me. But it works. It works. It worked well. I loved it. It did a great job. And that was part of my thing in December where I was going and they were getting me right. Yeah. They did that thing quite a bit, and it works.
Yeah, I love it.
There's a lot of technology on it.
See, Dr. Keith, even folks like Billy D can come around right here. Hey, one last question for you. Give me a stretch, because I've been dealing with some stuff too in my shoulders and so forth, but give me a stretch that everyone should build into their daily routine or that they should get in the habit of doing every day.
Absolutely, and that is making sure that you are taking care of your spine, stretching your spine, whether it's just simple lateral movements back and forth, simple rotations back and forth, reaching down between your legs, and just feeling your spine stretch. You know, your spine is a requirement of health, and you have to start thinking about your health in that way. So that is certainly a primary thing you should be focusing on.
I love it. I love it. That totally makes sense right here. Once again, our chiropractic moment with our man, Dr. Keith Rigi in Canton at 100% Chiropractic in Canton, right off of 20 as you go out of Canton, as you start towards Cartersville, right down there on the left. Dr. Keith, as always, thanks for being with us right here on the Morning Rant.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you, Dave.
All right, there you go. Again, Dr. Keith joining us right here on the program. Appreciate you guys being with us right here on a Rally Towel Tuesday for all you weekend warriors out there. But, man, you're a believer. You're a believer. You know what? I believe I've got an appointment tomorrow. I'm going to go down and maybe let Dr. Keith work on me a little bit and see, because he says, man, hey, come on down here, man. I want to show you what I can do.
You should. You need all the help you can get.
I do, man. I feel like at this point, man, I wake up. I got a lot of problems, man. My shoulder, I mean, I'm probably a candidate for some rotator cuff surgery or something here probably pretty soon. I don't know.
Let him fix you up, man. Throw that red laser on you. See what we can do.
Maybe I'm just old. I don't know. Oh, man. Nonetheless, man, keeping it real right here on the program. Hey, it's time right now to keep it real with my man, Billy D.
It's bold. It's unfiltered.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Buckle up. Billy D's got something to say, and you might not like it.
You can't say that.
Why not?
Keeping it real with Billy D starts now.
All right, so a little new feature right here on the program as we keep it real with my man, Billy D. Man, he is the white Charles Barkley, as we've talked about right here on the program. What you got for us today, partner, man? Let's keep it real.
Look, man, so here's the deal. You're getting into May, which, by the way, has got to be the second most expensive month of the year. You know, you got all the, you have Christmas and then you have May. Yeah. And you just got, you got the yard work, you got all that. You have
Mother's Day.
You got Mother's Day. And shout out to all the mothers. We got to celebrate them. And now we got all the graduations popping up. And so went to a graduation party this past weekend, which is awesome. But here's the thing. You get around some of these people and, you get around baseball and youth sports and football and all these, and the dads. Listen, here's a message for you dads, okay? Let me keep it real for you. You're talking about your kid this, that, and the other. Your kid's not the next Tom Brady, okay?
Yeah.
He's not coming out there and going to dominate and hearing all these things. He does this, that, and the other, and we're doing this, and you just the obnoxious bragging about how great listen, if your kid is that great, somebody else will be able to tell me about him. Okay, somebody else is going to tell me how great he is and all these types of things. I heard one person talking on Facebook about my kid is a brand. He's got his own LLC and all these kinds of things. I'm like, dude, you got to stop, man. That $500 Chick-fil-A gift card thing that they donated to you for whatever. Come on, calm down. Calm down for a second, all right? He may be a very good athlete, may be great at some level, but you know how great you got to be to play Division I sports, and then from there to actually make it to the pros. Like, it's insane the level of athlete that you have to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, Dad, you're not the athlete. Your kid is.
Yeah.
All right. So you can be proud of your kid. When you're in trouble. When they're talking about, is your kid this, that, and the other, and the parent goes, hey, he's okay. He's okay.
Right.
That's when you know you're about to get whooped. That kid is good.
There's some humble pie going on right there.
I had a guy come through the neighborhood once a few years back when I was getting into tennis, about 10 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Guys come to the neighborhood. I was looking for people to play tennis with.
Yeah.
And this guy, I said, "Hey, do you play tennis?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, cool." I said, I'm pretty decent, and everything. I said, how are you? Are you good? You play a lot? He goes, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Man, I said, well, let's play. We went out there. This joker took me to task like it was talk about humble pie. Like anybody who is really good, they play it really low.
Oh yeah,
okay, they play it really low. So
you don't show your hand.
No,
mean, you don't show
listen,
it.
Because they know. Their confidence. Other people will talk about them. They don't have to.
They don't have to.
And so, the Bible even says, I don't want to bring the Bible into everything, but listen, the Proverbs 25:6-7, do not boast in front of the king or demand a seat of honor. It is much better for the king to invite you to move up to the head of the table than to be embarrassed and to have to move back.
Billy D preaching a little bit this morning right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday. Lay it on him, brother.
Humble.
Lay it on him, brother. It's one of those things we talk about too, because I always and here's the thing, guys love to be macho, right? And the thing about it is that you always have these dads and all these folks that are like, I'm not into the whole participation trophy thing. And you may disagree with me on this too, because I think we've talked about this. But my thing is, when I was a kid, I wasn't making money or anything. Like, I was playing for that trophy, and you put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, man. I ain't got a problem with a kid getting a trophy, but there's a lot of these macho dads out there that may have never even won one themselves, that are out there saying, that's this trophy's for losers, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 or whatever. But I can't stand sometimes the over macho-ness.
That's what it is.
Of some of these dads, like, if it ain't first place, you don't, But I'm like, no, when you're a kid, man, you love having that trophy sitting on your dresser. And chances are, if you showed up every day and you put in the work, man, you earned it, Now, if you went, not everybody should get a championship trophy. Not everybody should get a first place ribbon if they didn't finish in first place. But what I'm saying is, man, there ain't nothing wrong with getting an award. There ain't nothing wrong with being recognized to me. Now, that's just, and I'm on the minority, I think, of that thought. But I played athletics all the way through, and I don't have a problem with that.
I think where some of that comes in is where they make up an award for every single player. That's when it gets a little bit crazy.
And to your point, that is correct. Yeah, that's right. I mean, not everybody has to walk away with a superlative, right?
Right.
Most this, best that.
This kid showed up to practice every day,
so he gets our 100% practice award. No, to that I understand. But there's a lot of folks out there, they don't like team trophies. Like, you have a banquet at the end of the year and everybody get a team trophy.
That's great.
But there's a lot of people that are like, you shouldn't even get a trophy unless you win something. And I'm like, oh, come on now, man. Did you really play sports growing up? Tell us what you think right here. We're going to have some people disagree with us. 866-888-0744. Again, our Jasper Coca-Cola text line. Even if we're not on live, you can still text that line. We'll get to it the next day or later in the afternoon. We'll post it on social media or what have you. But let us know what you think right here. Hey, we're up against our final break on this Rally Towel Tuesday as we move right along in the program. Restaurant inspection and some other tidbits coming up in the final segment of the program coming up here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the SportsPig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
Whatever cooling solution makes the most sense, Green Heating and Cooling is ready to help. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new cooling system, Green will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. With Green, you get more than just a technician. You get someone who's committed to meeting your needs and achieving a high level of training and skills. Someone backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Nobody understands the ins and outs of home comfort like Green. So whatever your situation or budget, Green Heating and Cooling has a solution for you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Grand Slam! 98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball.
Morning grind with Fort Grind.
Welcome to the show.
It's the Morning Rant, weekday mornings from 10 to 11 on 98.1, 93.7, and 101.1 on the H2 dial. WPGY, the Sports Pig.
Welcome back to this Rally Towel Tuesday. I almost missed my cue coming out of the break right there. But, hey, we appreciate you guys being on board with us here on this Rally Towel Tuesday presented by North Georgia's #1 personal injury attorney. That's Geiger Legal Group. Again, 833-HELP-GLG. That's 833-HELP-GLG. Let them tell your story today. Again, another phone line for you. Our Jasper Coca-Cola text line is open. 866-888-0744. Again, 866-888-0744. That's 0PIG, 0PIG. We are right here on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com today. And we appreciate you guys, as always, for being with us. Chuck Oliver at 11 o'clock at the top of the hour with Southern Sports Today, the king of college football. I am the Professor Dave Garner in here with my man Billy D. We were just keeping it real with Billy D earlier, chopping it up, having some conversation about your kid being the next great thing. And that's the thing. I mean, you're out at a park and rec, park, and everybody thinks their kid's the next greatest thing. But there's no energy like mom energy, because man, that mom energy is protective, man. I mean, your kid is always going to be the best, right? No matter what. And the dads are the same way. So I mean, I get it. I'm a parent. You're a parent. A lot of parents out there. I mean, you always want to brag on your kids and want your kids to be the superstar. But hey, man, it's all about fun. A lot of times we lose perspective of that.
That's all I'm trying to say. And don't be bragging that he's the next best thing to Tom Brady. All right? It's okay.
There you go. There you go. Hey, man, it's time to talk some food right here on the program.
Time for this week's restaurant inspection.
Oh, it smells so good in here.
On the Morning Rant.
All right, so again, our weekly feature right here where we discuss some of our local area restaurant inspection scores. And I'm pleased to announce that there were a lot of hundreds this week. And this is brought to you by your friends at Eat Safe Cherokee.
All right.
You can go to Facebook and look them up. They've got an Eat Safe Cobb as well. Eat Safe Fayetteville, Eat Safe Douglasville, I think. A few different ones there. You would think I'd know by now. But we focus on the Eat Safe Cherokee because it's a little bit closer to us. But nonetheless, go on and check them out. Pleased to announce that Kona Ice, Mobile 1, Mobile 2, Mobile 3, and Mobile 4 all got 100.
Hey.
Out of Canton there. Joe's Lone Star Tacos Catering got 100. The Holler in Canton off of West Main Street.
The Holler
got 100. The Kona Ice Cherokee Warehouse also got 100. So Kona Ice
lots
is
of Kona. Yeah,
a lot of Kona.
They hit them all.
Kona Ice, man, they keeping those machines clean, baby. And then Pizza Hut 99. Where's the Scoop? In Canton got a 96. So some good scores this week. The lowest score for this week that needs attention, there was an 85, there was a 78, but there was a 64. Now that is not the lowest on the program since we've been doing this, but it is one of the lowest. And I'm not going to say, because I never say, look, I don't want to put anybody out of business. I don't want to hurt commerce right now, especially in this economy, right? Gas is almost $5 a gallon, right? I ain't putting nobody out of business, but you can go online and look it up yourself. But I will say this, the 64 came from a golf club.
Whoa. A golf club.
Which you would think the golf clubs would be clean.
Golf club?
Yeah.
Listen, you got to do better. You got to do better if you're a golf club, okay? Like, I have some understanding about some of it, but come on, you're a golf club. You're doing sandwiches and hot dogs, all right?
Yeah.
We're pouring Cokes in styrofoam cups.
Your sandwich is a hot dog, yeah.
I mean, come on, we can do better. Come on, I'm a golf guy. We can do better than that. Let's go. Come on now. Sandwiches and hot dogs. Man. Let's go.
I mean, that's not, 64 is pretty low. Now don't get me wrong, but if your golf score, if you're a golf club and you're not hitting par, above par on your restaurant inspection, then you got to put in a little work.
Yeah, that's a quad triple bogey
now,
right there.
A 64 is a heck of a golf score, but not if you're the restaurant of the golf course.
No.
So
come on, man. Let's get those machines up riding right. Let's go.
Let's get that frosty machine cleaned out. Let's get that fly fan working at the front door or wherever.
I don't know what's on there. Come on, we can do better.
Yeah, I don't. And that's the one thing. And you can dive into these if you go on Facebook. You can dive into these a little further individually, and it'll kind of show you what was reported. I always just kind of pull from the weekly roundup that Eat Safe Cherokee does. But once again, your restaurant inspection score is brought to you by your friends at Papa John's in LJ. Again, better pizza, better ingredients. Order online today at papajohns.com. A partner of the show. We appreciate our friends at Papa John's who always keep things nice and clean there. And that newer LJ store, already a fan favorite in Blairsville and Blue Ridge as well. Again, Papa John's in LJ. Hey, here in the final segment of our program, one of the things that we talked a little bit about yesterday, and we mentioned this, was the expanded NCAA basketball field for March Madness. Now there's talk of expanding the college football playoff even further to possibly 24 teams. It started out at 8 now and 12 and 16, and so here we go. So now they're already talking about expanding this thing out to 24. My argument about that was I think it does diminish the regular season, or at least the importance of it somewhat, because now all of a sudden you're flirting with 4 loss teams, arguing why they should be in. the 24.
I really think a lot of this expansion has to do. It's obviously with money for sure,
Yeah.
but it's more importantly being able to support these other sports. Because the way NIL has happened now, they're having to do these things to generate more revenue so that they don't have to cut all these other programs. Whether it be women's sports or male sports, sports where only friends and family show up, basically.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of that out there. Plus, you have the Olympic sports that feed out of here. So they're having to do these things to help boost those up. I would think that there would be a better solution, like maybe capping NILs or something. I don't know. There's got to be a better solution
about
than
that.
doing this.
Yeah, that's on the table too.
I don't know what's holding that back or why that's not a good idea. I haven't really heard, but it seems like you could do something better than just continuing to let this balloon, because as it balloons, where does it stop?
Yeah.
Because it's going to pop at some point, right?
Yeah, you would think so. That's a good analogy right there. Let us know what you think. Again, our Coca-Cola text line, 866-888-0744. I've always said it. High school is like the new college with the way kids move around. College is the new pro with the NIL, and now we're talking about a salary cap. And then by the time you get to pro, it's your retirement vehicle. You make your 2 contracts and you're done, basically, and you're set for life, theoretically. But the landscape of everything really at all levels is kind of shifting and changing. But this is another deal right here. It's a money deal because let's be honest with you, team number 24 to me, I mean, if you're not ranked in the top 10, to me, you're not going to have much of a chance of winning anyway. Now, I will say that if you look back and you look at the Miamis of the world and some of those teams that did pull off the upsets being seated a little bit further back because they peaked at the right time, I mean, there are some different, elements there. I mean, I could see the top 12 or maybe even 16, but, now all of a sudden 24. But there are some things on the table right now by the American Football Coaches Association as far as shortening the season, taking away the extra bye week, taking away the conference championships, which our co-host Will Cooper was not a fan of. He felt like from a traditional standpoint, the conference championships were a good thing. Big John Davis feels the other way, that maybe we should get rid of it after all, because really all it does is hurt you.
You're going to have to if you do this. You're going to have to take them away. There's no way around it.
Right. So
take it away.
Yeah, a lot of different things on the table right now when we talk about, again, the state of college football and all the different things that are going on right there. Hey, again, a few minutes left here on the program. We appreciate you guys being with us right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday. Don't forget our social media. Again, full video episodes if you want to see our smiling faces on YouTube every day. Again, the podcast version of the show on all kinds of platforms. But you can also go to our website, sportspigradio.com, and enjoy the most recent shows there. We usually archive about 4 or 5 or what the last recent shows from the week, so you can go on there and listen. If you missed yesterday or if you missed another day, go ahead and tune in and listen to the program. We appreciate your comments. We want to interact with you right here as well, so hit us up on our Jasper Coca-Cola text line at 866-888-0744.
From the buzzer beaters to the big hits, if it's making noise in the world of sports, we've got something to say about it. This is
Now That's What I'm Talking About.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your all-access pass to the hottest takes in the world of sports.
All right, Billy D, as we wrap up here in the final few minutes, I'm kind of putting you on the spot right here, but who do you like for the NBA championship?
I like OKC.
Let's go through with it right here. I do too, man. I tell you, the Knicks are playing well, but I like OKC, man. I just think they're the more seasoned, complete team.
San Antonio can do it, though.
Yeah.
I think they can.
That's my sentimental. I am a Spur. Outside of the Hawks, the Spurs are my Western team that I like. So I'm rooting for the Spurs. But I don't know about that.
Well, look, they're not the same team without Wemby.
Oh, yeah, no.
If you have to have Wemby, and he is just a force that is just a dominating force. Yeah. And but I think OKC could get by them. So I'm gonna ride OKC for right now.
Hockey, who you like?
We'll take Buffalo since Big John is Big John's the big Buffalo guy. I'll take his team. Man. I'll take his team.
I've got the Avalanche. I got the Avalanche winning it all right there. But I tell you, man, Carolina's looking really good. So I'd love a Southeast team to win, but it's hard to cheer for teams in Tampa and Charlotte and places like that when you're rivals with those cities and other sports. But again, I've got the Avalanche going on there. Preakness, man. John has tasked us, by the way, with coming up with some more horse picks for the Preakness and also the PGA Championship. But who do you like this weekend in PGA, man, off the top of your head?
I mean, Cam's on a roll, so I like Cam. I like Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
He's playing well. There's a couple guys I got to really dive into it maybe over the next day or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's some. Somebody always comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
On these things, but you're going to have the normal guys up near the top. I expect DeChambeau to come back and look much better than he did from the Masters. I think he was probably a little bit embarrassed from that.
Yeah.
So I expect him to play well, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Those guys, to me, and you talked about it, I think that, those guys are probably the most fun guys to watch, those LIV guys.
They are.
I mean, so.
They are.
Oh, man. We got a comment right here on the text line. Again, let's see here. Will Bobby, and this is a question right here, comes to us from Tommy Boy in Waleska, and he says, will Bobby Cox's record of 162, I think it's 161 ejections, but again, 162 is what it says on here. 162 ejections ever be surpassed? And I would say the answer is no. I don't think anybody will ever reach 162 ejections to take the record there over Bobby Cox, and I think that's one of the main things that makes Bobby Cox so unique.
As Draymond Green was in baseball, maybe he could.
Yeah.
Maybe he could.
Say. Oh, man. Thank you, Tommy Boy. You jumped on just in time with us right here, man. We appreciate you guys being on board with us right here. Tommy Boy from Waleska joining us right here on the Jasper Coca-Cola text line, 866-888-0744. That's all the time we got on the program. Chuck Oliver up next with Southern Sports Today. Thanks for joining us right here on this Rally Towel Tuesday presented by your friends at Geiger Legal Group. We'll be back here tomorrow with our Winging It Wednesday edition with Big John Davis live in studio here inside our Carriage Kia studios. Until tomorrow, as we always say, if you don't know,
you better ask somebody.
We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on the Morning Rant on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the SportsPig app and online at sportspigradio.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tired of shouting your business's name into the void and getting nothing but crickets? Your brand deserves more than awkward billboard glances and flyers lining bird cages. Right now, listeners are hearing me ramble on instead of your ad. That's a touchdown for missed opportunities and a fumble for your wallet.
Recovered, Atlanta, game over.
Your ad could be here, making fans laugh, cheer, and most importantly, call you. Go to sportspigradio.com or call 678-454-9552 and get your business off the bench and into the game.